Hey folks, this is Scott with James Valley. I wanted to shoot this video today because a lot of people are calling and asking, can I still use the lures even after the first rut? And the answer to that is yes, okay? So look, here's the deal. Here's how the rut works. The first rut occurs in your area when it occurs, usually end of October through middle of November. And the majority of does will get bred during that period of time. But there's a lot of factors. If the doe doesn't get bred when it comes into heat during that first cycle, it'll come back into heat about 28 days later, okay? And so there's factors like if there is a high doe to breeder buck population, a lot of those does that come into heat, they may not get a breeder buck to attach to them. And remember, that doe will be in its peak of its estrus cycle for only about 24 hours, okay? Now, a buck may stay with that doe for around 72 hours because during the first 24 hours, the doe might not quite smell right. Then during that second 24 hours, when it's ready to be bred, that only lasts for about 24 hours when that buck will actually be breeding that doe or when the doe will allow it to be bred. And then that buck will actually stay with that doe and sometimes breed it several times for another 24 hours. So we're talking about 72 hour, almost like a lockdown period where those breeder bucks, they stay with that hot doe. So when other does come into estrus, they may not get a breeder buck to attach to it, therefore won't get bred. So really the second cycle will happen about 28 days later, okay? The other factor to consider is that the newly the fawns, the doe fawns that are actually only about 6 months old during that first I guess rut phase of their life, about 60% is estimated, about 60% of those doe fawns that were born this year, about 6 months old, about 60% of them will come into maturity where they will actually get bred that first year, okay? So 60%. And a lot of those are late breeders in a sense that they don't reach that maturity sometimes during that first phase of the rut or that first rut cycle. They'll come into the estrus during that second, about a month later, just because that's the time that they reached maturity and they come into estrus for the first time. So all the tactics that you use and all the lures that you use, you don't stop using them after that first rut, okay? That second rut that we call it, or that second cycle that happens 28 days after the first cycle, that starts about, a month later. So we're talking end of November through middle of December. So you still use the lures just like you used them during that first rut, okay? So yes, continue to make scrapes, continue to lay your scent trails down, use your stationary scent bombs, all the techniques that we teach you, that I teach you, that you learned over the years, you don't stop after the first rut. So here's what I'm going to do. I have a couple of jars of lure here. I got a full rut and I got a scrape gel. And then I have, what's in this pocket? I got a full draw and a wall hanger. What I'm going to do for our special, if you go and either call or order, okay, online, we're going to do a buy four, get one free special. In the comments section, you just note which jar or lure you would like for free. It's not going to pop up as an automatic deal. Just put in the notes when you buy four, you're going to get one for free. put in the notes which jar of lure you want for free. In addition to that, for the special, the Thanksgiving special, the Black Friday special, whatever you want to call it, the second rut special, we're going to do the buy 4, get 1 free. Here's what else we're going to do. We're going to give away 2 jars of lure. We're going to just pick 2 jars of random lure. We're going to give 2 jars away. We're going to give 2 jars of the Old West barbecue sauce away. And we're going to give a James Valley hat away to one winner that buys the lure, any amount of lure. Doesn't have to be the buy 4, get 1 free. That buys any lure between now, today, the 21st of November, through December 31st. Okay? We're going to pick one winner that'll win that package. 2 jars of lure, 2 jars of Old West barbecue sauce. Great for the holidays, by the way. And a James Valley hat. Okay? So yes, this lure works really all the time, but it also works for the second rut, this second phase, when these does come back into heat that didn't get bred the first time, or the ones that are coming into heat for the first time, but just later. So I hope that answers a lot of questions, and let's make it happen, okay? Thank you to everybody that has bought in lure. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you to all of our customers, and enjoy the holiday season. Take care.